Is this pink or beige? Well, it doesn't really matter because these are fire. Over the last few years, James Whitner has established himself as maybe the best collaborator that Jordan Brand has right now, consistently delivering with top tier storytelling, premium materials, and at the end of the day, some really good looking shoes. And this time we are getting a 6-pack of sneakers, including this one right here, which I am very excited to review. In this video, I'll be talking about the A Ma Maniere Jordan 4 While You Were Sleeping. Very quickly before we start, make sure you are following me on Instagram. I respond to every single one of you who DM me on there, and it is where I'm the most active. I post content on there daily. So these released first on the A Ma Maniere website, and they were actually quite easy to get. They were sitting on the site for several hours. The European and worldwide release, which happened a week later, however, went a bit differently because all of the big sizes sold out pretty much immediately. I entered every single raffle for the shoe. I unfortunately got an L everywhere, but I did manage to get lucky on the sneakers app. I can't lie, lately the sneakers app has been blessing me. I'm kind of on a hot streak right now. I know a lot of you guys placed your orders on the A Ma Maniere website, but you still haven't received your pairs. Well, I do hope this video makes you even more excited to receive them because these are great. So when it comes to sneaker collabs in general, I think there's a pretty big difference between authentic sneaker collabs and cash grabs. A good collaboration to me is something that tells a good story and the product feels like an authentic partnership between the collaborators. But I do feel like in the last few years, especially from Nike's side more so than any other brand, they have been guilty in my opinion of doing cash grabs and disguising them as collaborations. The Travis Scott collab being a perfect example. No storytelling whatsoever with those shoes, it's just simply new colorways of the same shoe. But one of the very few good partnerships that Nike and Jordan Brand have been able to have in the last few years is with James Whitner and A Ma Maniere. They have had a lot of hits and it continues this time around. We're going to be getting 6 different sneakers releasing at some point this year, and this pack is being called the While You Were Sleeping pack, and they are releasing alongside a movie of the same name. And based on what I read, the movie focuses on the influence of culture around the globe and features well-known black creatives such as Jay Tips, Nina Chanel Abney, as well as Chris Gibbs. Out of the 6 sneakers, I can tell you for sure I have my eyes on those 95s. Those look to me like the standout sneaker from this pack, and by the way, the release date on those will be Halloween, so October 31st of this year. Now these are the second pair of A Ma Manieres to already release this year. So we saw first of all those 3s that dropped back in July, which was also a shoe that I have to say wasn't very difficult to get. I managed to scoop those up for retail almost 2 months after the release, and I did talk about them a bit in a previous video. Really like those shoes as well, but I gotta be honest, I like these 4s a lot better. So let's get into it. Let's start off with the box. So you get a very different box this time around compared to the previous Jordan 4s, which had that plastic sleeve with the A Ma Maniere monogram. This time I realized that this box is meant to be like a presentation box. You can open the box and kind of make the shoe stand up like the box is presenting the shoes to you. It has the A Ma Maniere logo right at the top, and you also get this very nice luxury feeling cloth. And looking at the shoes, taking them out the box, I have to say my first thought was, wow, I really like this color. I don't think I've ever really seen this type of color on a shoe before. It's kind of like a pinkish beige color, but do not let this color intimidate you. I actually think this is an excellent contrasting color to wear with what you would typically wear in the fall time, which is like more earth tones. I think this color contrasts so well with some brown tones, like you want to wear it with like a brown outfit, or even something like an olive color, or even like beige tones, like a taupe color. I see this and I don't think, oh, I can't pull these off, because that is exactly what I thought when I saw the previous A Ma Maniere collabs, those 4s, which are kind of in that purple color, which at least for me didn't really work with the type of clothes I had in my wardrobe. So I did end up selling that pair because I just didn't think I'd get a lot of use out of it. Like, this to me is not a very scary looking pink. You know, we have those upcoming 4s, I believe in a couple of weeks, the Orchid 4s. Now that's pink. Now that is like a very bright pink. This is not like that. This is more of a muted color, more of, like I said, more of like a pinkish beige. And I just think it looks so nice when combined with the other colors on the shoe. So you got those hits of black on the midsole as well, and you have that very nice cream midsole too, complementing the upper. It's just a sick colorway. Definitely for me, I much prefer this pair over the original original A Ma Maniere 4s. And the other thing that we've loved so far with all of the A Ma Maniere collabs has been the quality of materials used. So most of the upper this time is done in a very smooth nubuck material, done in that pink color. And then you also have some suede detailing. I have to say, some very shaggy suede that they used here on the mudguard. The retail price on this pair is a bit more expensive than your regular Jordan 4, so at least we are getting some premium materials here to back up that price. What's also cool about this shoe is that underneath those cages, on those mesh panels, you can actually see the A Ma Maniere monogram all over, which is a very nice little detail that they added to the shoe. I'm also loving the tongue tabs on both the left and right pair. You have the Jordan Jumpman logo and the A Ma Maniere logo, and it just looks very premium. And just look at the heel as well. You have Nike Air done in black there. Great color choice in my opinion. Another thing that I've just really liked so far with all of the A Ma Maniere collabs is that they have kept a similar design language, I would say, with most of their Jordan shoes. You notice that there is some kind of hit of purple or burgundy on most of these shoes. And also, I think almost all the Jordan pairs so far have had this quilted inner lining, which I love. Definitely adds a nice premium vibe to the shoe. Although I have to say, I compared it with my other pair of A Ma Maniere, so these are the ones that released, which to me so far still my favorite pair that dropped. Very underrated shoe. The inner lining to me feels a lot more plush and nicer than we get on the 4s or even the 3s that dropped earlier this year. Also, I'm not sure if you'll be able to see this on camera, but underneath the tongue you see more of that A Ma Maniere monogram there. Pretty cool. The standard laces that come with this pair are done in a very tan color. It looks pretty monochromatic when combined with the rest of the shoe, and I think that looks great, to be honest. You get 2 extra pairs of laces, one being a cream pair and another being a white. Let's just forget that you get the white pair, because once you throw these cream laces on, it's a bit of a game changer, because I think these cream laces just look amazing with this shoe combined with that midsole. That's definitely how I will be wearing them. Let me know in the comments, what do you guys think about the cream laces, or are you gonna leave the regular tan ones? And oh, by the way, just in case you needed some extra motivation, on the lace tips on these shoes, it does say work harder. If there's one thing I wish they did on the shoe, which I feel is missing, is why didn't they give us that pin right at the heel like we got on the previous pair? That was the first time we've seen a pin like that on a Jordan 4. It had the A logo, and I just don't get it. If you're gonna give us another A Ma Maniere Jordan 4, why not keep the pin as well? Thought it really set the shoe apart from other 4s, so I felt like that's a bit of a missed opportunity. Getting into sizing, so I did get this in my true size. Now this is a woman's release, so I got this in a woman's 12.5, which is a men's size 11, or an EU 45, so that is my true size. And with most 4s, you know, I always kind of complain about how 4s fit me, because they all seem to fit a bit different. Now with these, I have to say the midfoot feels a bit tight. Not as tight as the military 4s that dropped earlier this year. Those for me at my true size, I find them almost painful to walk in. But these are bearable, and I've just been so far wearing them inside my house. But I do feel like if I wanted to wear this shoe for a longer period of time, I think that the midfoot would bother me quite a bit. And I would describe my feet as just being slightly on the wide side. So my sizing recommendation, I think, is if you have slightly wide feet or wide feet, then definitely go up half a size. Women's pairs in general are quite narrow in the midfoot, so that could explain why the shoe fits that way. I know people were complaining that the original A Ma Maniere 4s were just very uncomfortable. These aren't as uncomfortable as the originals, besides being slightly narrow in the midfoot. However, I think if you have normal feet, you can get away going true to size and you should be fine. The shoes aren't going for all that much above retail right now on StockX, and I can never really talk about whether or not a shoe is worth it. That's up to you in the end. In my opinion, I think these are pretty good at that price. Very unique colorway of the 4s, and the materials are great, so definitely at that price I think there are a cop. And at least for me, I'm trying to think, is there a better Jordan 4 that dropped this year? I can't really off the bat think of one. I know the Bread Reimagined dropped, you had the military 4s, but personally I would rank this pair above all of them. So yeah, I think this is my favorite Jordan 4 to drop this year. Do let me know in the comments, what do you guys think about the While You Were Sleeping Jordan 4s? I'm a fan of these. Do not forget to follow me on Instagram. That is where I am the most active, and thank you so much for stopping by and supporting the channel. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.